when I went up to, because this didn't have a price yet, when I went up to ask the price, I was like, I might as well say, what do you got behind the counter?
Did you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
That's where I got the Stone. They had the Stone Stout back there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's like, well, we got a couple to 120. I'm like, nah, I have that. And I forgot what he's like.
I have trouble passing that one up.
He said something else, and I was like, no, I'm okay with that. He's like, I've got the Stone. I said, oh, the Imperial Stout, the new for the 2013. He's like, yeah. I was like, I'll take one of those.
Nice.
So yeah, I did your secret
You have
stash.
to. It's kind of. I mean,
but there wasn't a lot back there. So.
Yeah. No. I mean, it's good and bad, I guess, but it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, but you know, and I guess but as long as you know to do it, then you at least get to try. But
yeah.
So
they're not running out of things, but
right.
So this was not hidden behind the counter, but
this was not.
It did kind of jump out to you, though.
Absolutely.
It spoke to
pretty
you.
much anything from Dogfish, I at least want to see what it's about. Some of the things don't immediately grab my attention, but this one did for a variety of reasons.
And we will get into all of those reasons on this Give It a Shot. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith, and we are AboutBeverages.com. And the beverage we are about today is the Sah'tea from Dogfish Head in Delaware. We are overall big fans of Dogfish Head.
Yeah,
We're always
definitely.
willing to try what they're putting in bottles, and actually would love to just try something right from the keg sometime. walk into one of their establishments and try that. But
I will go more out on a limb with something different and unique they're doing than almost any other brewery.
Right.
Them and probably Stone are probably about the two that, like, you know, all right, bring it on. What is it? Anybody else, I would not even touch it. Like I said, they've won my faith enough where usually they're, you know.
Well, the Noble Rot was the most recent thing we've tried. We've tried on the...
So I bought another bottle of that.
Yeah, so
it's too good.
Good stuff. So this one intrigued me for a variety of reasons. The first one is the style, is the Sah'tea style, which we have tried another Sah'tea before. It was the from Sam Adams.
Yeah, Norse Legend.
Their Norse Legend, which kind of let us down.
It did. I mean, that was one of those classic ones where the short version of it is they're talking about juniper sticks, juniper berries, juniper.
Where
barely tasted any juniper, which is kind of the classic part to this style.
Right.
Is that it is, you know, it's a Finnish, you know, kind of style of beer where they use, like, the juniper berries.
Recipe
and
that was lost years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Well, now it's been found by two different breweries. Apparently, they've discovered it.
Well, so obviously, you know, we like what that style could be because we're big fans of the juniper berry.
Yeah.
Also, this has rye. It has rye. Use rye in it. And so we like, you know.
This one uses rye?
Yeah, it has.
Okay. I didn't even notice that. That's awesome.
It says,
I missed out on that.
We brew it with rye.
Oh, very cool.
And juniper.
Did not even notice it.
With wood-fired rocks.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and they have really cool videos on Dogfish's website, which we'll have a link to at AboutBeverages.com for you to check out. They've got some pretty neat of them actually prepping to do the boil for the wort with these hot rocks that they're firing over a wood fire. It's very cool.
So where they kind of then break it and make it a little bit different is at the very end they add chai tea, at which we're guessing is probably just going to add more aroma than actual flavor, but because it's done at the end. But we'll see. But, you know, we're big fans of chai and the chai cola that we've had that we like so much.
That's true.
So anyways, there's definitely a twist on an old recipe that, you know, I don't really even have any preconceptions for this. I just hope it has a little. I guess I do. I have one. I hope it has some juniper.
I hope we get a little bit of juniper intermingled in those other things. And the other thing that is the funny kind of wordplay then that they're doing as well, because Sah'tea is normally spelled T-I.
T-I,
and they're spelling it T-E-A because they're using actual, like, a chai tea, which is usually a blend of black tea and some other spices, cardamom, cinnamon, things like that. So, yeah, very cool. Alcohol in this one? Is this one a little higher?
9%.
Okay, we've stepped up our game then with the alcohol in this one. And the price. Usually these tend to be a little more expensive.
$12.
$12. Okay.
Well, like we said,
That's
we like the
not too bad.
25.4.
That's true.
Ounce, you know, so that's good.
And we've gone with tulip glass as well, which is kind of what we saw they were using on their website. We weren't sure at first.
We actually picked that though before.
That's
you
true.
Saw that.
No, we did. We did make this decision.
Yay! So we're thinking like Dogfish Head. Could be a bumper sticker. If you guys use that, you need to give us some credit.
That's right. Yeah, we just want
thinking
credit.
Like Dogfish Head.
Thinking like the Dogfish.
That carbonation mellows out really quickly.
It does. I thought it was going to be really strong, but it definitely.
It's like no head on that and very mild carbonation, but nice copper.
Yeah, very nice copper
clear,
color.
Well, not clear.
It's like a shine. It's like a new penny.
Yeah,
it's that kind of copper.
That's nice.
Yeah.
There's definitely a chai aroma.
Definitely getting the chai right
Some
away. That's what hits.
licorice almost,
That hits you right away. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Cardamom, cinnamon, tea. Those flavors all definitely come to the forefront. A little clove.
Get a little like vanilla note in that, and some chai mixes do add a flavoring. You
Uh-huh.
can have
Yeah.
vanilla or hazelnut or even a fruit. Some chais will
do
add
that
a fruit
to add a little
aroma.
sweetness or something.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, there's a little vanilla bean kind of thing going on there.
Well, and that's from what we read. We would expect there to be a lot of chai in the nose.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay.
Yeah, you can tell the thing we haven't said yet, though.
I don't smell it
I don't smell any juniper at the moment.
at the moment.
It would be pushing it too much for me to say that I am.
Yeah, yeah,
I want to think that maybe I'm getting it, but it'd be slightly dishonest. I'm not totally getting that.
Yep.
If I didn't know there was to be any but in there.
Well, let's approach the final frontier.
All right.
Taste the final frontier. You could maybe get
Wow.
in trouble for that one. That's a spicy meatball. No, there's a lot of spice.
Yeah, a lot
not
of
meatball spice, but
Yeah, a lot of the more sweetness comes through. The malt really kind of brings everything up a little bit. But a nice balance of all of those different spices. I want to say that I get a little pinch of something at the back that could be a berry or a juniper or something like that.
Yeah.
But not quite the flavor I was looking for as gin lovers that we are.
it's more of a sour sort of feeling that I get that I think could be attributed to that juniper.
Yeah, it's almost like they threw some Old Tom gin in here because of the
Sweetness,
the
yeah.
creaminess and stuff like that. I mean, if
Well-
you want to go that route. Because there's a feeling, like you said, that I'm getting on my palate that reminds me of that a little bit.
Yeah.
From that, like I said, unfortunately not as much in the aromatic, which I think could have brought something unique to the party. If that juniper would have been up a little bit with those other spices,
Yeah,
I think
kind
that
of
would
the
have
foundation.
Yeah, I think that would have been unique and interesting. And this is unique in its own way, but.
I like the body. Is that probably from the rye? A little bit of that more smooth?
I would think so, and that's probably where that little sour kind of nip you're getting is too, is from the rye. I would think.
There is something underneath those spices that, like you said, it's, and I don't know, maybe I or we are wrong to think I want lots of juniper taste.
Yeah, maybe
Maybe if that was in there, maybe you guys tried that and you were like, oh my god, that really sucked.
It was awful.
Yeah, we got to dial that down and just get some of the essence as opposed to over the head juniper. So maybe
I find that hard to believe though, because I still go back to like that one Rogue beer that we had. They do a juniper beer,
Right.
That the very first time,
one time
out of the like 3 or 4 times that I had that beer, it was amazing. Like because it's like a juniper pale ale. The juniper actually came through the pale ale, like everything was balanced, and you got that juniper. And then I've bought that one several other times since, been completely let down just because I want the juniper. Not that the beer itself is bad, but I wanted the juniper. So that being said, like I said, this is more about the tea part of the side, but I think there is a little something else there, and that's
there is, and there's a little, like it's a little creaminess to the body, and a little bit of that vanilla that's in there.
Yeah.
I think
that's real nice. I really like that.
Yeah, it's not what like I said. Outside of the one thing I said, I'm looking for juniper.
Yeah.
I didn't have any preconceptions. But that's. Well, how can I not have had preconceptions? I know what chai tea tastes like. I know what rye tastes like, and I know what juniper tastes like. So obviously, I must have thought there'd be some sort of combination.
You got 2 out of the 3 and a little bit of one.
A little bit of one.
And a little
Yeah.
bit of one.
Yeah.
And a little more balance between all those things would have been, who knows.
And that'd be interesting because Dogfish actually watched our last podcast.
Yeah, they were nice enough to do that.
And that was great. We so appreciate that. I wonder if hopefully they'll watch this one too, and they can give us some feedback and say, yeah, we did have more juniper in there and it just didn't work, or whether or no this is at one time and then maybe you guys tweaked it and wound up with this, because this is very drinkable.
This is very good.
A lot of flavor
I do
going
like
on.
this. I've seen this one a couple other times before, and like I said, have passed it by, and I'm really glad that you bought this one, because this is quite tasty. It's and I think the body is kind of what makes it, because a lot of times we've had a few other beers that have had either used tea in them or different blends of spices and things, and sometimes they're a little on the thinner side, and I don't know if why that happens or what they've done, either their malt bill or or the grains they use, whatever, or just what they did. But this one really maintains a nice kind of viscosity to it,
Yeah.
without being super heavy.
Right. No, I agree.
This
And
is like
then-
the finish of a summer beer.
Well, the nice thing about the spices in here is they don't keep adding the layers. You know, it's one of the things like we talk about in our pumpkin beer podcast
Yeah.
and things like that, where it keeps adding on and they never dissipate, and all of a sudden you've got this heavy layer on your tongue. There's still some essence there, but the heaviness goes away. And then you have another sip, and it stays there for a little bit. So this actually would be, I could see actually drinking this beer in colder weather too.
Yeah, I think this one could go use either way. Like I said, it's a limited release. It's usually out around this time of year. I see it. It's kind of probably one of those when it's gone, it's gone. I didn't get to look. Maybe they have notes on there. Sometimes some of these things you can cellar. There's not a lot of hop stuff going on in here, so I would think this would hold for a while if you were someone that wanted to keep it till it was a little bit colder. But I'm honestly not sure. That might be something they could answer for us as well if they happen to.
Or they could take
watch.
that chai blend and add it to different styles of beer as well. I think that would work.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
with even darker styles. But they don't really. No, they do stouts and things like that. Of course.
Yeah, they do. They do some.
Yeah,
They
you
get the
guys do
worldwide
that.
stout. That's
Right.
also $8, like
Right.
120 minute. Yeah, no, I'm really glad you bought that. That's really quite like I said, different than I think our expectations to some extent.
Right.
What we hoped they would be.
Right.
But again, that uniqueness kind of won out. That it's still quite flavorful and quite delicious.
I agree.
And what we also hope is flavor. No, that doesn't work.
Nah.
Now, just head on over to the website, AboutBeverages.com, and check out the tasting notes for this wonderful beer from Dogfish Brewing. And while you're there, definitely check out some of the other ones that we've either had from Dogfish or a lot of the other summer seasonals that we've had as of late to see what you'll want to be bringing over to your barbecuing, beach-going festivities.
That's right.
That's right. But
That's right.
whether we like it or not,
You should give it a shot.